Crazy is a destination that is never far from anyone's path. The only difference between us is how fast we move. Because you have to be crazy to go crazy. They don't let just anyone in. And they don't let just anyone out.
BTSW speaks.
Suffice to say, I know a few crazy people who are genuinely, legitimately crazy. Some of these people I like to call family. I remember growing up, and I only asked my daddy this once. I said, "Hey, how do you know if a person is crazy?" And he said, "Ask them." And that was the end of that conversation. But what I got from that was, it's hard to just look at someone and tell that they're crazy. However, there is some potential for craziness in all of us. And you can sometimes gauge just how much potential each person has simply by asking, "You crazy?" Like, nah, you must be crazy. Nah, you must be out your mind. Anyway, so what I realize is some people, they either say, "Oh man, you driving me crazy," or "you gonna make me go crazy," and they speak of it as if crazy is a destination. And so along that premise, I said crazy is a destination that is not far from anyone's path. However, in order to be classified as crazy, you would have to already be crazy. The potential of craziness would have to be in you. And I mean crazy as in legit crazy. I don't mean just you laugh at some really dead jokes or you have a crazy laugh. One of those laughs that make other people laugh even though the joke ain't even funny. I mean legitimately crazy. Talking to people that is not really there and responding to situations way more disproportionately than it actually needs to be dealt with, and maybe speaking a certain way or behaving a certain way in public when societal standards dictate that you would behave in a different manner. Those kind of crazy. And with those kind of crazy, I mean those ones where you gotta be heavily sedated and medicated and held down with orderlies all the time, but some people just don't get admitted into the asylum. That kind of crazy. With that kind of crazy, I believe that everyone has, let's call it a small percentage of potential within them. Let's say the destination that is crazy, that is not far from anyone's path, the entry, like right there at the gate. You could go down the path, come off your path and just drive down to the gate. But the entry percentage of potential of crazy, let's say, would have to be maybe 40%. And if you are at 39, you reach to the gate, maybe you say pretty please, you can go ahead and get inside. But if you was 38, then you would have to turn around and go back to the main road. What I am saying before I get too deep into this analogy, or this metaphor, if you will, is that craziness is not something that other people have to determine. I mean, they can always dismiss whatever your unacceptable behavior at the time is as crazy. But you have to decide within yourself, which is what my daddy was saying when he said, ask them if they're crazy, and you will find out if they're crazy. Because legit crazy people will have a crazy response if you ask them, are you crazy? And with that potential of craziness, they just go into a new destination that is crazy, legitimate crazy, the crazy that I described earlier in this video. With that crazy that they are, the crazy that they are at, that is a crazy that anyone can go to potentially, but the people that are already there, or the people that got to that stage, it's not just everyone. They earned it, basically. And when they get there to that destination, it's hard for them to leave. In other words, once a crazy, always a crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Men, women, everybody crazy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway. I don't even know what accent that is, so Please, if you're offended, comment down below so I can know what accent that was, so I could properly apologize. Anyway, craziness is a destination that is not far from any of us. In other words, any of us can go crazy. But if we actually do go crazy, not all of us will come back. And so be careful how you use this term, because when you really meet crazy, you will realize that we might have the potential, every one of us, but not all of us is right there. And you will find a different word very, very quickly. In the islands, we say cracky. We got a lot of cracky people. Boy, you so cracky. You know, because it's like you crack me up, you know? You like cracking jokes, you know? But you ain't crazy. Because I know crazy and you ain't crazy. You won't go crazy, you go ahead. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be a task trying to get out. With that being said, I think you crazy.